That's right. Gonna be a Baptist preacher so that I won't have to work. Well, I'm in the pulpit, jumping up and down, 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 down. Yeah, I'm in the pulpit, jumping up and down. Okay. Well, I've been hollering good news all the miles around. My sister jumped up now, ooh, she began to grin. Yeah, she did. Well, my sister jumped up, ooh, she began to grin. She said, good Lord have mercy, please forgive me for my sins. Forgive me now, please, please, please. Oh, oh, oh. Ah, yes. Let me religion. Gonna join the Baptist church. Climb up this mountain, shine down upon our world. Get me religion. Gonna join the Baptist church.
Good evening, everyone.
How are we doing?
Cheers.
Oh, you have got no idea the tension in this room. Honestly, Tom's only just... he's smiling now. He wasn't smiling 3 minutes ago, honestly, when nothing was working.
Do you know what? Let us know. It'll be an absolute miracle if anyone can hear us right now. That will be a miracle. So let us know in the comments if you can hear us.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear us here?
I'm on the bus.
I'm on the bus.
Phoenix Nights, come on.
I've done...
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Is that Phoenix
It's going
Nights?
past on the bus.
I haven't seen that for a... That's an old man's
Old
comedy
man's.
now, isn't it? Jack, have you heard of Phoenix Nights?
No.
Exactly.
Jack hasn't heard of nothing
Jack
unless
is-
it's a game.
Jack is all the
Jack
way
is
back
back.
from Germany. We knew he'd come back.
We did.
He's back. He's pushing the buttons. He's in charge. Yeah, well, the first week Jack comes back is not working. And there's no correlation
In
to
fairness
that.
Jack fixed it. Jack was
Good.
like, do this, Tom, do that, Tom, do this, Tom. It's fine.
Good.
And you were like, oh, it's not that, Jack. And it was like, it is. Jack was the man tonight.
We're working on YouTube, apparently. We're working on Facebook. Praise the Lord. It's good. It's good. It's all gone well. Well,
Well, thank you, Jesus.
thank you, Jesus. You saved us again.
Oh, wow.
We're getting all charismatic tonight. Well, the thing is, welcome to Finnegan's. You
Yes.
might be joining us for the first time because some people, I'm sure, will be coming
They
for our
will.
main attraction, the
Yeah,
guest tonight. So
probably,
we're
yeah.
welcoming you.
Yeah.
If you've not been to Wednesday night at Finnegan's before, my name's Tom. This is,
I'm Allan. Yeah.
and we are the hosts of Wednesday night at Finnegan's. Basically, each week, me and Allan come down to his garden bar.
Oh, hang on.
It's a secret location.
Secret location.
Secret
so it doesn't get
location.
broken into.
So it doesn't get broken into.
Yeah. I mean,
In his
come on.
garden. I'm going to narrow it down even further. I know
I'll
your
just give you the
postcode.
address and postcodes. It's easy then, isn't it?
Each week we come down
Yeah.
and we just enjoy sitting in the pub with a
We
few
do.
beers with our mates.
Have a
and we
couple of
chat-
beers.
we
Chat
chat-
nonsense.
We chat nonsense. We chat all things about our week, about life, about faith, what's been
Yeah.
going on. We have a guest in
We
each
do.
week.
We do. Should we say hello
here we go.
straight
We've
away
got Graham in
before
this
we bring
week.
him
Let's
in?
give him a big round of applause. Why don't we
Yes.
welcome him from home?
Yeah.
Graham, how you doing,
Greetings,
mate?
Graham.
Greetings from, I was
Here.
going to say Anfield, but I've moved. I'm back in Bootle, Alan.
Are you back in
Oh,
Bootle?
yeah.
I'm back home. I was a
Wow.
Bootle lad.
Where's you? I don't want to know where you live now, but where do you live now?
Oh, do you know
Whereabouts?
what? What's funny about this, right? As you know, I grew up on Dodge,
Yeah, okay.
which is a
yeah.
dead posh housing estate up
It
the
is.
road.
Yeah, proper
Uh,
posh.
I know, yeah.
They call, I mean, I get my head around this when I moved up. It's called Dodge, but that's not the. Is that the actual name? It's just
Everyone calls
Everyone
it
calls
Dodge,
it
Tom.
Dodge.
yeah, because it was
I
because
think-
you used
I
to live
think-
there. I think
I grew up on there. I grew up on there.
So it was just normal for
It
you,
was
wasn't
normal
it?
then,
Normal
called
life.
Dodge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it was normal kind of madness because
Yeah.
everything went on the estate. It was a typical council estate that everything went down. And if you weren't involved in stuff, you're abnormal.
Yeah. Okay,
All right.
I get it.
Well,
I get
we're going to get into all that tonight,
We will.
Graham. And you've
Oh,
got
well,
some, you've got
fun.
some people in
He'll
the
have
chat
some,
saying hello.
yeah, he'll have some friends in tonight that
And
have
if
never
you're-
seen this.
I'll have
If-
some mates there.
Well, yeah.
You will. Yeah.
Well, if you're a mate of Graham, you've got an embarrassing story on him. Just throw it in the chat.
Just throw it in the chat.
Go on.
We can ask him about it. You know
We-
what I mean?
It's
Yeah,
a little confessional tonight for Graham. We're going to sort you right out.
What anything you want to ask him that you haven't had chance?
Any questions?
Any questions?
Throw
You
him
know,
in the chat.
he's a mind of knowledge, isn't he?
We'll pick him up tonight.
Yeah.
We'll pick him up.
Yeah.
And well, what, Alan? We're expecting you to be a granddad at any moment.
We are. It could be tonight.
It could be
any minute. I might have to
Do you
go.
know- Oh,
Wow.
how good would it be?
How good was
So
it?
your
be?
daughter is here
She's here
at a secret location.
at a secret location, which happens to
heavily
be my house.
pregnant, and ready to burst at any moment.
I wouldn't use the word burst. You'll probably kill you.
Do you-
But yeah. To be
Do you
honest.
know what? I could deliver
And
a baby.
not even that.
I could deliver it.
It's Josh's birthday.
Josh's
Her
birthday.
husband.
So the baby come today. That would
Like
ruin
2 birthdays.
his
No, that's great,
birthdays
isn't it?
forever, wouldn't it?
That's great, though, isn't it? You just have, it's only one day messing about.
There you
Then,
go.
isn't it?
Well,
that-
Instead of having 2.
Is that your first grandchild?
It is, yeah.
Oh, my word, Alan. You're going to love it, mate. I've got 5 grandkids. You're going
Have
to
you?
love it. Proper love it, mate.
I don't know, I'm quite grumpy, Graham.
I know, but you can get the granddad grumpy t-shirt then.
I
I've
am
got one.
honestly.
I've got one, the grumpy granddad nailing it.
I
You've
am
got to get one.
proper grumpy.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Get the
I get on my
t-shirt.
own nerves. I'm not grumpy.
You get the t-shirt, mate.
Honestly.
Got to.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
think
that
I've
could
got the
happen.
full
We could have the
uniform.
first
We could have the
baby
first birth.
born in Finnegan's bar today.
Finnegan's bat on the
That'd be
pool
great.
table.
Wow.
That'd make a difference.
I'll
wouldn't
tell
it?
you what, I think that would go viral on TikTok.
Oh, that would definitely.
I think
go
that would
viral.
definitely. That could be the thing we need, really.
Well,
Does she have-
yeah, because what we're doing isn't working, is it? Let's be honest. We're not going viral anytime.
Not
The only time
currently.
we're going viral is if we catch something.
I'm just thinking, Alan, that's going down, mate. You got to name your pocket.
Yeah. One in the middle.
Oh dear. Oh well. So, welcome to Finnegan's.
Yes.
You can help us out by liking, subscribing, sharing this video on
Yeah.
Facebook, following our channel on YouTube, and or you can follow us on Spotify.
Podcasts, all them type
Give
of
it a little
places.
share. There's loads of
You
episodes.
really help us out if you do that.
And we've got loads and loads of content from
We have.
previous. Who did we have last week?
We had Charles,
Charlie.
Charlie and Andy.
All the way from Warrington, Charlie, and he had a mean. What was his impersonation? He was a good lad.
What
He's
was his
invited us over to
impersonation?
Manchester.
Was it Muhammad Ali or someone? No,
No,
Chris Eubank.
Chris Eubank.
Chris it was.
Yeah, he
He's
smashed
invited
it.
us to Manchester.
He's
He hasn't
invited
invited me. He's invited you.
That's what
Clearly.
I-
He's clearly invited you and not invited me.
This happens all the time, Graham.
This does happen
It's
all the time, you know. Honestly.
I got lost that Charlie bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie. Yeah.
But we get asked, all the time. People will come and say, "We're so
Well-
thankful for Tom. He's such a great minister." And then I'll say, "Oh, it's lovely. Do they come and speak to you, Al?" And they say no. And that's it.
I can't argue. I can't
Can't argue
argue.
with
That
that.
has happened a lot just lately.
Here we go, Graham.
Oh, great.
All sorts of stories that are going to come out. Apparently,
Really?
Georgie
Yeah.
says she's got plenty of stories
that's
to
his
tell.
wife.
That's not allowed. That's the wife.
That's the
Come
wife.
on, Georgie.
Come on,
don't
yeah,
be
Georgie.
that's not
shy.
allowed.
Come on, Georgie, spill
my
the
dad,
beans.
and my dad looks
Your
like
dad?
he's got some dirt on your Graham because he's not Graham's dad.
He
He
does,
could
does,
have, yeah.
sounds
He's
of it.
saying, ask him about spitting on his uncle.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what
Yeah.
I love about that, Graham, is when I said spitting on your uncle, for most people that would be like an instant recollection, but you had to go,
which one?
oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
had
did
to
spit
think
on my
about it.
uncle.
I had to
Spat on
think
a
about
few,
it.
to be honest.
Yeah, spat on my aunt, but my uncle, yes, I did my uncle.
Yeah, I remember now.
So we'll find out a little bit
We'll ask
about
about
that
that
as
in a minute,
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's all sorts here, Graham. There's all sorts here. We're going to get into this.
Oh,
I'm
I can't see that, Graham. You're all
You
right.
can't see
I
that.
can't see any.
Basically, it's just to tell you what I've been up to this week.
God, I was going to ask you. What have you been up to?
I went to my in-laws, Mike and Jackie. They had some spare tickets. Well, it's complicated. I won't go into it, but they gave me tickets
What
to
for?
the Magic of Motown at the Philharmonic.
Cool.
Did you enjoy
I
it?
like a bit of Motown.
Do you like a bit of
I
Motown?
like a bit of soul music.
Joyce likes Motown.
Yeah.
The blues.
What would
all
you?
that.
What's your Motown? What's your favourite Motown track? Would you say? You said you liked it, and you
Go
can't even
for
name a
bit
song.
of Barry White.
Oh,
Bit
there
of
you
Barry
go,
White.
Barry White.
Bit of
Yeah.
Barry
What about
White.
you, Alan? That was about your generation.
I didn't do Motown. I was
60s.
more Pink Floyd,
Oh, yeah.
Queen, people like that. Yeah. So Joyce is.
I am Joyce.
Joyce loved Motown. Like, loved it.
What the Diana Ross Supremes, all
All
that kind
them.
of thing. I
All
think
of them,
she would have.
yeah.
So we went,
Yeah.
and we weren't in the majority in terms of the makeup,
Age.
the age profile.
Of course you went.
So I would say it was more.
What did you think? You wanted S Club 7, you messer. Look at
Do you know what they
baby
were at the
face.
Echo and they just cancelled very
I
sadly
know,
because
they
your
did.
Rachel was going to go.
That's it. There was a few of them going to go.
So
yeah.
I was disappointed that there wasn't many young people like me, and
Like
I would
you.
say
How old are you?
I would say that the majority there were probably
Are you going to say my age?
Joyce's generation.
Joyce's generation. She's older than me.
And do you know what? How quickly they got up for a dance. Like they
first
were
song.
like boom like that, and they were up there like giving it large, and I felt a little
What?
bit. I'm not a great dancer.
As I can testify to.
I'm not a
I've
great.
seen him. Have you never seen Tom's? I think The Office is kind of a bit like that. Honestly, me and him, Graham, we got invited. He gets in also. I don't know why, but everyone loves him, right?
Yeah.
And me and him got invited to the BBC Sports Personalities of the Year tickets and the after party.
Backstage
which I
tickets.
can only tell you, what a waste of our taxpayers' money, our license payers' money. There was just loads of food and drink and everything, wasn't it? It was madness.
Yeah.
Me and Tom ended up
Backstage.
dancing
Yeah.
with the Paralympic team.
Oh my
Because
God.
I think they just won a whole load of medals.
They did.
And
Yeah.
so they
We
came
were
back.
dancing with them. Some of them were in the wheelchairs. Some of them were like
Yeah.
other. I don't know. I'll get myself into trouble by saying the wrong words.
It's
But
just terrifying when Alan starts
Yeah.
talking about things
and
like this.
literally me and him dancing with them all. And then that other woman who was the kung fu expert,
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, judo.
she
She was a
nearly
Liverpool girl.
kicked
She
your
won
head in.
gold, didn't she?
Yeah.
She
yeah.
had a little dance with me, but she got very aggressive about it.
Yeah, she did. Everybody is kung fu fighting.
So anyway, I got up to dance, but I tell you what, there was the steward on my part of the event at Motown.
Yeah.
He was probably younger than me. And so he was happy with these women when they were dancing in their seats. But if they got
they
out
went in
into
the
the
aisles.
aisle, it was his job to go and say, "This is a fire risk. Could you go back into your seat?"
Yeah.
So there was this one woman, and she was bouncing. She was loving it, and she kept going down the aisle like this. She's like, "I heard it in the grapevine," like that. giving it all that. Then he'd come and he'd say, "Excuse me." He'd try and like sidle up to her really awkwardly, say, "Can you get back in your seat?"
back
And
in
she'd
your
be
lane.
like this, all in his face like that. And he's like, and so she shuffled him back.
Was she really dancing like that?
Yeah,
Like
not,
really?
not as good as that. And then he'd walk away for a second, a microsecond. Then she'd
She'd
just
be
walk
back
back
out.
into the aisle like that instantly. And he'd have to come back and go, "Excuse me, could you go back?" Made my night just watching that. So that was Motown. And what about you, Al? What have you been up to
well,
this
I've been
week?
waiting to become a granddad, but we're still waiting, aren't we? But-
Waiting.
Oh, I've been back on the tools, Tom.
Back
this
on
week.
the tools. Do you
Back
know
on
what,
the tools.
Graham? I don't know if you've got a side hustle. You're a pastor. We'll get into this, but Alan basically has a side hustle to pay for his holidays.
I wouldn't say it's a side hustle, Graham. It's a what's it called? Forward planning for when I lose my job.
Good idea.
So,
Keeping your irons in the fire,
That's
keep
it.
your hand in. You know
so
what I
he's-
mean?
Literally, he does a joke in his set about doing patios to pay for his holiday. What have you been doing
I've
yesterday
been
and
doing
today?
a patio. Yeah,
Patio O'Shea.
patio. Yeah, yeah. Been doing patio. Been flagging.
So have you been on?
I'm done in. I can't do it anymore.
So-
I literally can't do it anymore. I'm finished.
And have
My
you?
body has give up.
Well,
It has, honestly.
yeah.
No, don't be looking at me like that and saying, yeah, it gave up years ago.
Well, usually you have your labourer, your sidekick, don't you? But I couldn't do the heavy lifting for you this time.
Are you joking? Are you joking? I tell you what.
So have you already been online looking for the next holiday?
No, not
Have
yet,
you got
no.
one booked?
No.
All
no.
right.
Skins, aren't Absolutely skint.
Well,
Yeah.
you're right, paying for the last one or planning the next one.
I'm still skint. That's
Well,
all I'm doing.
All right,
You've just been on holiday anyway.
I have.
Yeah.
We went on a cruise, Graham. You ever done a cruise?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
Why did it take you
You had
so...
to think again then,
Because I
like.
had to think.
That's where it's back to his
I've been
uncle.
on a little cruise, yeah.
This is going to be a slow interview, Graham.
Yeah.
That's the
The
speed
Irish-
at which
the
you
Irish
answer
ferry.
questions.
Mersey.
Across the
Across the
Mersey.
Mersey. That was it. That's my limit of boats. No, I prefer to fly, mate.
Do you? I don't blame
I
you.
prefer to fly. I don't like... I've done an Irish crossing once. Alan will know this. It's in the winter, in the dark. You've done it once and you'd never get on the ferry in the dark doing a night crossing across the island again.
No, we went to
It's like being on the
France,
Big Dipper in Blackpool, but you're on a boat
yeah.
and you just don't want to. And I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to open the door and have a look. And I opened the door and I screamed in fright because I seen the side of these waves. They were like tower blocks and thinking, oh my word. And I just went, I'm going to lie down.
I'm going to die.
I prayed all night. I prayed all night, just like, oh God, keep me safe.
Yeah.
If you've never done it, Tom, you've got to do it.
Oh, we went to France, didn't we?
Just
Yeah.
I know, but the North Sea
Yeah,
going
it's a bit
over
different,
to
isn't it?
Ireland, it's if you get a choppy night, I mean, it's scary. I'm scared to the point that I think last year, the year before, one of the boats who was carrying all the containers got hit by a freak wave. And he beat it on top of Blackpool on the sand. That's how mad the wave was.
He did what?
It beat a boat.
The boat.
A big
Run aground.
tanker boat, run aground with like hundreds of containers on.
Just because like one wave just took it out.
Just one wave took it out.
Wow.
See,
Wow.
So you're scary stuff.
it's a Scouse
It is.
wave.
It is. Look at this, Becky Turpin. She says she still thinks of your kids as being kids, never alone having their own kids.
I know. I still
That's-
think of her being a kid.
That's
the
how
problem
life
I've got
happens, isn't
there.
it?
Yeah, Becky.
Here we go. We've got loads of questions. We're going to get stuck into it. People love a bit of Motown. People have got lots of questions for Graham. We're going to get into some of these stories. The Tattooed Saint says, ask him about his favourite gun he used to take to school.
Oh yeah, what's he like? I got expelled from my junior school.
Yeah.
It was Netherton Park. It was Netherton Park Junior School.
Oh, yeah.
Because my dad was a club doorman bouncer on the Park Hotel, which is just around the corner from here.
Yeah.
And he
Secret
also
location,
worked as a
Graham, keep
doorman on the Allisons and the Whisper.
Yeah,
They've gone now.
yeah.
Park Hotel's still there. And they were all making peg guns in the school. Now, I'm not DIY. DIY stands for destroy it yourself. So all the kids were making peg guns.
What's a peg gun?
A peg gun's a piece of wood with a lassie band.
And you pull it
Okay.
in the
You
peg
pull
and
it back and
pegs
you
it to you.
Oh,
rob
yeah.
a peg off your mother's
Yeah.
washing line.
Yeah.
And if you're really clever, you put a washer on the end. And they did it.
Yeah.
If you got one of them, they ate. And every time I tried to make one, it backfired and hit me in the head or something, so forget that. And I found a shotgun on my dad's wardrobe in a sports bag.
You're
Right.
messing.
No, I'm not.
You do.
I am absolutely not. And so I decided to put the
I love your
shotgun in my school bag and take it to school.
Yeah.
So when all the lads pulled all their peg guns out, I said, yeah, look at mine. And the school didn't see the funny side
I
of it.
bet you didn't.
And they got expelled.
Expelled.
How
And the
old were
police got
you?
involved.
How old were you when you took a shotgun to school?
I was just going on 12.
Do you know what? We've had some guests on here, mate. I never thought I'd ask that question. How old were you when you took a shotgun to
Yeah,
school?
I
Was
don't
it? I just picture you on the playground and all your mates there with their peg guns, you know, and like the ones who are being a little bit risky, putting a washer in and be like, pom, pom, pom. Then Graham just out of his trench coat, just lock, stock.
No, come out of me bag. Come out of me bag. I pulled it out of me bag. But what was weird is the teachers were panicking and they said, is there any ammunition in there? And I said, no, it's all right, it's empty. And he went, oh, I said, but I got the cartridges in my pocket. Just and I pulled out these little red cartridges. And
I love how you characterize your teacher as a panicker.
With a shotgun.
When a teacher pulls out a
Yeah.
shotgun, he's like, all right, love, calm down.
it was just innocence. It
Shotgun.
was
What's the
just
matter
me
with it? It's
being
not even loaded.
naive and innocent. They didn't see the funny side.
No, that does sound like that was more of a... Well, 12, actually. I think you know what you're doing at 12.
Yeah.
No,
Come on,
I
Graham.
ended up in care because of that. I ended up in the
Okay.
Static
gotta go well, this, isn't it?
Static Lane Assessment Centre just down the road.
Let's
That was
start.
like my hotel.
Let's start at the beginning, Graham.
Go on.
I feel like
Start at the beginning, go on.
this is going to be
We haven't
therapy
even talked
tonight.
about what we're doing yet. It's all the
Oh,
usual
go on.
nonsense,
Well,
isn't
we've got the new our game
it?
blankety
Okay,
blank.
blankety blank.
It's no
Backed by
linky.
popular
It's
demand.
not as good as
It's
linky,
much better than linky.
but
You're
I've
going to
got
be
a
playing
feeling,
blankety blank a bit later,
and
Graham.
I've got a
Blankety
feeling,
blank.
Graham.
You've only got to get one, and you're in the lead.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
So you'll be fine.
And there's 3 points on offer each
Yeah,
question.
that's right. So we're going to play blankety blank
Yeah.
later. Also, we can give away some beer mats. These
Yeah,
are the
we
most.
can.
We've got some
We've
somewhere.
got some somewhere.
They've got our manky old faces on,
Yeah.
but we got hundreds of these things. So if you get Graham, you get one of these to take home with you. How do you feel about that, mate?
Defo.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Put that in my office and put my coffee on it.
There you go.
Nuggets of the week gets
So
that best
person with the funniest comment, and already
best comment, yeah.
best comment, funniest.
I think Graham's winning already.
Yeah.
Take this
Is
shotgun to
Tom's
scare
face
him.
on there as well?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got cold sores on his.
Can I
on
put
his,
that on the fire to keep the kids away?
Honestly, he's got cold sores on his lips and everything.
No,
He
I've got to
didn't
be-
think
I've got to
anyone
be
noticed.
careful what I say because Tim's in
His
our
dad's-
church now.
his
That's
dad's
it.
I'll get
watching,
a
yeah.
headache off Tim.
That's
I know
it.
I will. So
That's
Literally cold sores on his gob.
I know. I was asking what your nicknames were as a baby and all that. He wouldn't tell me anything, mate.
Oh, good
He
one,
swore
Dad.
to secrecy.
Well done, Dad.
What was your nickname as a baby? What did he call you?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Shut up.
just stuck.
Stop.
Well, Graham.
Yeah.
So if you've got a funny comment, throw it in. There's got to be something around shotguns in primary school, hasn't there?
There's got to be something, yeah.
There's got to be something in there. So stick with us. Evening, Mike. Nice to have you in. Nice to have Emma in as well. Ray's around tonight. Ray's normally good for a laugh, and
He's good for the comment normally.
my
yeah.
daughter Hope's even in, so
He's
very good.
dead easy to get
Tattooed
BMS
Saint.
to.
Georgie's in. Nice to have you in, Georgie. Very good. Barbara's in. Yes, Barbara.
Barbara.
She said last week's episode was the
It's
best episode we've
she's
ever done.
seen. Yeah. Ever.
She's a
that's
tough
high-
critic as well,
that's high
Barbara. So I
praise,
would
that,
take
like.
that.
I
I would
praise
take
that.
that.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Well, Graham, tell us you grew up in Dodge.
I grew
Bootle.
up on
Tell us a
Dodge.
bit about life.
Dodge,
early
well,
life.
just to explain about Dodge for people who don't know. Dodge is a housing estate in Bootle, Netherton, and it was nicknamed Dodge, I think, as far as I remember, because of the cowboy films, Dodge City.
Dodge City, yeah.
Because it was really rough. Lots of stuff would go on there.
Like kids taking shotguns to school. That sort of
No,
thing.
like Sunday dinner. There used to be a fruit and veg shop on the corner by the shops, didn't he? Just a couple of shops and chippy. That would get broken into every Sunday morning so people could get to Sunday dinner. Just stuff like that.
Kind
That's
of
where you get
understand
your
that.
fruit and veg from, and then you get your meat from the chicken factory. Because my dad also used to work there, so
Okay.
we'd get a free Sunday dinner every week.
Well,
He'd
it
come home with
wasn't
a
bad, was
live.
it?
He'd come home with a live chicken, and
Really?
oh yeah.
You blow its head off with a shotgun?
No. He just like.
Yeah.
But I remember going Brad Road chicken factory. I remember going in there as a kid. My dad took me in one Saturday afternoon, and the machine actually cut the heads of the chickens, and then you'd see them run around for 5 minutes with no head on. Proper weird, mate.
Ah,
So
that's
that
where they
was,
get headless chickens from, you see.
Running around.
Running
like
around.
a-
Headless
That's
chicken.
where you get headless chickens from.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
I had some traumatic experiences as a kid.
I think the chicken was more traumatizing you.
Like spitting on my uncle.
Spearing on his uncle, yeah.
Go on. So what happened? Next, Graham?
The story behind that is
Oh, okay. We're going for that one.
Alan will like this because my mum's side of the family are all Irish. My mum's an O'Brien. So my uncle, and you've met his daughter,
Have I?
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie.
I'm
Oh,
the
yeah,
hairdresser.
I know Anne-Marie, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'm Anne-Marie's because, so
Okay.
her dad Michael comes to our
AM1.
house to see his sister, my mum.
Yeah.
Right. So my bedroom was right above the front door, and I heard the bell go, and no one was answering. So I put my head out, and my Uncle Michael's there. He got a bit of a baldy head, and it's time to go out the window and get him on the head. But I got down quick enough, and my sister put her head out, so she got the whack. But when he come in, she got the blame, like, and I didn't say nothing to him for years and years, and probably then about 15 years ago, I said to him, hey, Michael, he said, well, I said, remember you got spit in the head by my sister? He said, yeah. I said, I've got a confession to make, it was me. And he just looked at me like, didn't say a word. Give me the O'Brien look.
Oh, you're getting
You
it.
spat on your baldy uncle's head.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah. He needs the polishes. Head.
When
That's
you
what
say it like that, it sounds much worse.
I don't know, yeah. So what up school, Grain? You kind of said you're in school.
Well, for the bit.
I was in school for a bit. I got expelled.
That
Once
was
for the
genuinely because of
schools.
the shotgun thing. You got expelled. Or
Yeah.
was that like a?
Was that the top hat?
Was that the?
No, that wasn't a top hat. I think the top hat was when I'd done my first 6 months in senior school in Anfield Comp,
Right.
and they had my housemaster, because they had housemasters kind of thing. He didn't really get on with me. I didn't get on with him, and he was out for me. So after school one day, I took a baseball bat and smashed all the windows on his car and slashed his tires. And that was it.
There was a pattern of behaviour.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was a
it's a
pattern of
technical
behaviour.
term.
Yeah, I kind of got. When that appeared on my record and the shotgun, no other school would take me.
Okay.
So what happened then? No school takes you. What happens then?
I ended up going into care and ended up in 1 or 2 approved schools, like in Wales, at a place called Diganway, a place called Woodlands in Diganway by Conway Castle. But what was hilarious was it was full of Scousers. There's 120 Scousers in there. So you can imagine 120 Scousers in Diganway.
Like on holiday in Wales.
Well, they'd let you out on weekends.
Our day out.
Our day out stuff, yeah, exactly.
Have you seen that film, Tom?
No.
You
And
need to watch that. Our day out.
Oh, yeah.
You need to watch that.
Some bright
Funny
spark
as.
decided, let's have a community disco and invite the other school on the other side of Conway called Cardiff Mellors, was full of Cockneys.
Oh, so that'll have gone down well.
So you can imagine 120 Scousers, 120 Cockneys in the middle of a disco in the middle of North Wales with all the Welsh local lads. Talk about going off big time.
So you were from the age of, what age was this? You went, and you're living there during the week?
No,
and then
they're permanently.
You're there
That's what I
permanently?
mean. You're there 7 days a week.
So
they're 7 days
and what,
a
did you
week.
go
So
in
you've
for
been
holidays?
taking off your mum and dad.
Yeah.
No, it was on holiday. It was like an approved school.
Oh,
It's like a mini Boston.
No, I'm
mate.
not saying you're on holiday.
It was like a mini Boston.
Would you not go home for holidays?
No, they'd let you home for a weekend if you're
He's doing
really
a
good.
stretch.
But then they'd put you on a coach. You'd come all the way back to Liverpool,
Yeah.
and then you'd come back on a Sunday night. But because you let you out dead early, sometimes in the holidays of the daytime, you could stay local. You could go into the Ganway or Clandidno for a day from 9 o'clock. You had to be back by tea time for 5. So one day I decided to hitchhike all the way home.
Right.
And I got lifts right away. I was home by 11:30.
Yeah.
Like in the morning. Walked in to see my mum and my social worker sitting there. She goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm on weekend leave." She goes, "No, you're not." I said, "I am." She said, "No, they notified me." And she put me in the car and drove me all the way back. So, and no one knew any difference.
Wow.
So now.
So how, I mean, that's got to do something to you, innit? Being away from home at that young age and then into an environment like that. That can't have been, I mean, we're laughing about it, but that can't have been, it can't have been
Part
funny.
of it was good because you learn things like sailing and canoeing and mountaineering. So
It's one of these camps. It was a holiday camp.
Was all right. That was all right. Under highly supervision, yeah.
Yeah. You also learn how to bagel and rob cars and all that type of stuff as well.
Yeah, you learn sticks and trade off your mates.
Wow.
So
how many years are you there and what happens next?
I was there for 8 years.
8 years.
8 years. But part of my upbringing was because my mum and dad got divorced. I kind of went off the rails anyway. So that was leading me into being a bit of a lunatic because I played out, I acted out. I was annoyed. Mum and dad got divorced. Didn't want to live with my mum because she split up with my dad. Didn't want to live with my dad. So I was in care anyway. So it was kind of a happy place for me.
Okay.
Even though it wasn't, if you know what I mean. It makes sense.
There's a bit of escapism going on
Bit
in
of
terms of
escapism,
escaping from some of
escapism.
the rubbish going on at home, I guess.
And again, in some ways, because you're a kid in some way, it's almost like it's normal to you, isn't it?
It was because you got 120 scouts.
That's what I mean. It's normal. It's like,
So,
yeah, we're all in this together. It's not. This is the way it is, kind of thing. Yeah.
It was interesting.
I bet it was. You've got to watch Our Day Out. Write it down and watch
it about Our Day Out?
It's a Scouse school. Go to Wales, don't they, for the day or something? They go to the zoo and that. They grab all the animals and everything.
All the animals, bring the animals home on the coach.
In their coats and that. It's very funny.
Where
There was a series on the back of it, wasn't there?
Our Day Out.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give it a
Our
go.
Day Out.
We'll
well
give it
worth
a
a
go.
watch, yeah.
Can I watch it
Anyone
with the
watched
kids?
Our Day Out? I wouldn't watch it with the kids. I can't remember what it's like, but maybe not your kids. You'll terrify them.
Yeah. Chaz is in all the way from Australia.
Chaz from Australia. He's here in a couple of weeks, isn't he?
Chazza, are you still coming over to see us again, Chazza? Let us know in the comments. I think we're expecting you to come all the way from Australia
the 1st of
again.
November, I think.
Come up to Liverpool.
Where's he from in Oz?
Chazza.
Where are you from?
Where are you from? Do you know much in Australia?
Yeah, I've got a mate out there.
Have you?
I went out for my 40th and spent a month there.
Did you?
I think the wife sent me away. She sent me away for my 40th. Go to Australia for a month to see you, mate.
You spent your life being sent away, Graham.
I know. I think my wife just wants the break.
Very good. Melbourne,
No,
Chaz.
that's the other end.
That's
WA.
WA.
He was in WA.
West Australia.
Okay.
If you go there, it stands for wait a while. Just laid back, mate, honestly.
Okay.
You can go in a restaurant and just order something and you just wait and eventually they come and serve you. So WA doesn't stand for Western Australia, it stands for wait a while.
Okay.
It's all right though when you're on holiday, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Chill out.
Month, a little bit of a rest, like.
But one of Dave
He
Conley's...
was a criminal already, so
Dave
he's all
Conley's
right in
nephew.
Australia, wasn't he?
I went to visit Dave Conley's nephew out there, Paul.
All right.
Man.
Okay. Yeah, you used to... I mean, Dave Cave used to be in our church for a bit and all that. You knew Dave Cave
He did.
really well, didn't you?
I knew Dave very, very well because the story progresses from me being in care to doing drugs. I ended up addicted to drugs and nearly died a couple of times of overdoses. And then, do you know Lynn Keenan, the Keenans?
Yeah. See, I know Lynn quite well. She's lovely. She's great.
Lynn was instrumental in my life in the sense she run a little youth club in the Baptist church by our house in Anfield. And I used to go along there to play a bit of pool, hang out with some of the lads before I went into town and sold drugs. They influenced me. I just seen something in them that made me ask questions.
Right.
And then I just opened up to Lynn one night, said I've nearly died 3 times of overdoses. She flies me back to her house for a coffee, and she's gone for ages, and I'm going paranoid, like I am proper going paranoid. Thinks she's phoning the busies and everything, or the police, for those who don't know what busies are. And I walked into the kitchen, she's praying for me.
Wow.
And she's asking God to help her. And I heard her praying, clear as anything. And she come back into the living room and said, here's where it got weird. Like she said, God spoke to me. I said, what do you mean God spoke to you? She said, well, I've got to go and take this guy called Dave Cave. I said, well, how did God speak to you? She said, well, I had a vision. And I'm sitting there, Alan, going, who's on the drugs here? Like,
yeah, which one of us is high?
What's she on? Is she on LSD or what, mate? She's having visions. Because all that was just foreign to me.
Yeah,
and that's how I got to meet Dave Cave. On a Friday night at midnight, she took me to his house.
Wow. I'd have been fuming if I was him.
No, we just said, come up.
I know he was. Yeah.
He was. Yeah. That's the kind of fella he was. Right. He's dead sound.
Dave Cave used to be in the church called The Rock. I mean, you can't make that up, can you? Dave Cave from The Rock.
True. It was.
Dave Cave, The Rock. Yeah.
So let me just get my head around this.
Hang on. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You've gone to the youth club. And you've just had a moment where you think something different about Lynn, which there is. She's lovely, but something, I guess you're saying, something of her faith was being communicated to you. So you've opened up to her, you told her about your life, and so she invited you back for a brew.
Yeah.
She's praying for you.
Yeah.
Let's go and see Dave Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bit more to it than that, because I've gone to the youth club for a while.
So she knew.
It was just somewhere good to hang out.
Yeah.
And I just noticed that they were different. These people were happy. Don't forget, I was spending about $1,000 a week on drugs. And it wasn't that I was looking for God. I was looking for what she had, but I didn't know it was God. She was always happy. She was like, do you know that Ready Becklow?
Yeah.
Like, and I remember saying to her one night, hey, Lynn, what are you on? And she said, what do you mean, what are you on? I said, what are you on? She said, what do you mean? I said, you're always dead happy. What are you taking? And then she told me about Jesus.
Wow.
Which was very confusing, because my mum's a Catholic.
Right,
okay.
yeah.
And all my influence of Catholic mother was a crucifix on every bedroom wall in the house. So my image of Jesus was he's dead. So I'm arguing with Lynn saying, what are you talking me about a dead man for? And she said, no, he's alive. I said, he's not alive. And she said, no. And she showed me in the Bible in a couple of places where he's alive.
Yeah.
And that just flipped something in me to start thinking about things.
So what happened when you went to see Dave Cave?
Well,
did she phone him? This is pre-mobile phone? Did she bell him?
No, she probably belled him on a house phone.
And you come up to us at midnight?
Yeah, she said, come over. So I went over to see him. And Alan knows Dave. Like, I went in, he's sitting there in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt and a pair of suede shoes, and I'm going, "You're not a minister." He goes, "I am." I said, "You don't look like one." And he goes, "Well, what does one look like?" I said, "Not you."
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking Batman cloak, ring of confidence and all that, and he had none of that.
Yeah.
But then he showed me his ordination papers to prove he was legit.
Did he?
Nice.
It's like a spiritual MOT, Tom.
Yeah.
And
I feel a bit shortchanged. The Baptist Union ain't giving us any
DK.
papers.
he
have
wasn't
they?
Baptist then. He was URC.
The funniest
Ah.
thing I ever remember Dave Cave, he was in a meeting night, and it was one of these Baptist meetings where they're like, do this, do that, and it's just one of them boring Baptist meetings. And he got up and he said, "Can I just say something?" He said, "Yeah." And he said, "This reminds me of being constipated." And he went, "What do you mean?" He went, "Well, you're always just trying to pass a motion."
That's Dave for you.
Hilarious.
That's Dave for you.
Hilarious.
And he had papers to say he was a minister.
I've
Well,
got
we
a
can't get
certificate.
any.
Proper
You've got a
minister.
certificate?
I've got a certificate. Yeah.
Listen,
I haven't given me anything.
That's because
Right.
you're not a proper one yet.
this guy was like street cred, but at the same time, he would influence people like he's very friends with Clive Cow over the year and all that stuff.
Yeah,
he was a big EA speaker.
Stuff, yeah.
All the big conferences. He was well known around the world. He's written a couple of books. I'm in a couple of books. I'm actually in there in print, so that's my
Right.
claim.
Oh,
That's my
yeah.
claim to fame.
And so he sorry. So you come up to Dave Caves. He's gone, "Here's my papers."
Yeah.
Show me,
I am
show
legit.
me he's real.
No, what's happened at
He was
that
dead
point?
straight because he's a Scouser, or he's not actually from Wales. He's
Yeah.
an adopted Scouser. And he was straight with me. He said, "Look, Graham, it's like this. God's real. He can change your life. Don't mess about with him." He said, "He's here. He can change your life. Don't play about." And I understood that language because
Direct.
Direct.
Kind of thing, yeah.
it's like when he sells drugs, you say to someone, "Here's an ounce of weed. You know, it costs 80 quid. If you don't pay me, I'll come looking for you." And it was like that. That's the kind of language you worked
Yeah.
on. So he challenged me, and I said, "Well, look, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll come along to your church on Sunday morning, and I'll be straight with you. If I like it, I'll keep coming. If I don't, I won't. You
Okay.
won't see me again." Because, to be honest, I tried everything. I tried everything in my life. And I was looking for something, but I didn't know what I was looking for. And I thought, well, I might as well give this a try. That was Friday night, 12 o'clock. I went out Saturday night, done what I usually done with the lads, selling drugs and all that kind of stuff. In the middle of a drug deal, I had this full-blown vision of Jesus where he put a call on my life.
Wow.
And that's how I got saved. It wasn't wow. It was like,
That's not going to help in a drug deal, is it?
Oh, my word. Oh, my word. I'm dying. I thought I was dying because I'd nearly died 3 times of overdoses. And now you've got JC turning up in a nightclub, putting a call on your life. And I'm thinking, I'm dying.
So you saw him, like you were doing a deal.
As clear as
Full
I'm
on
seeing
Robert
you.
Powell.
And then you
As
saw
clear as I'm seeing you.
Wow. Had you
And-
been on your own supply? Don't try your own
yeah,
supply.
I've been on stuff, but it was real. It was real.
Wow.
And I was so convicted. Everything in me just like felt, oh my word, I'm ruined, I'm wrecked. I'm like, I've had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do. The only thing I could think of was get to Dave's house.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought. Dave's actually written all this in the book. So this isn't a story I'm making up.
Yeah.
It's written 2 books. So I'm paranoid now. I think I'm dying. Thinking I'm getting to Dave's house. I just got rid of all the drugs. I just take it, just give it away. I had enough, even the cash, I give the cash away. I had enough money in my pocket, loose change to get into a taxi. Now, if you get into a taxi, what's the first thing they say to you?
There you go.
Don't you say, have you got his money? And he put the finger on that button and he said, yeah. No, he didn't have them buttons then. He just turned round and said, now you respect where you going, lad. Everyone would expect that. Now, you got to imagine, Tom, you meet Dave on a Friday night, you meet Jesus in the nightclub on a Saturday night, you get into a taxi and you're expecting, where you going, lad? Well, this taxi driver didn't say that. He turned around and looked at him and said, do you believe in Jesus?
No.
He did. He turned around and said, do you believe in Jesus?
This is a proper setup, this.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's it. You must have been going, what
didn't.
is going on here?
No, I didn't. I didn't give him a nice answer because I wasn't sanctified. Okay, I wasn't saved. Right. I looked at him and said, hey, fella, if you don't shut up, I'm going to slap you. 3 ways, fast, hard, and continually. Because I'm going proper paranoid now. I am like, my head is exploding everywhere. I'm thinking, what on earth's going on? So I get to Dave's house, 2 o'clock in the morning, right?
He must love you.
I know.
You always come round the next day.
Yeah.
I know. He's gone now. He's in heaven
He has
now.
gone now,
He's got to
yeah.
forgive me now.
Yeah.
So there I am, finger on buzzer, 2 o'clock in the morning. He comes down with his PJs on. Right. After laughing at his PJs
This is
for
why
10
this
minutes.
is a secret
This
location.
is the
Graham.
truth. This is the truth. After laughing for 10 minutes at his pajamas, right? I got myself together and I said, "Hey Dave, what's going on?" He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Listen, I've just been to a nightclub. JC's in there and he's got his taxi drivers after me." And that's what I said. And he said, "What?" I said, "I've just had Jesus has been in a nightclub. He's put a call on my life and he's got a taxi drivers. What's going on? Is this normal?" And he said, "Yeah."
Wow.
I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, what it is, Graham, we've all been praying for you that God would speak to you." And I said, "What?" He said, "We've been praying for you that God will speak to you." I said, "Do us a favour, Dave, go and pray again." He said, "What for?" Ask him to back off. And I'm serious. I was not looking for God.
Mm.
And this is the funniest thing about being a minister. I've been a minister now for many, many years. I'm jumping story like, but how many people say this, Alan? I found Jesus 10 years ago. I found Jesus 15 years ago. I found Jesus a year ago. And I say, I didn't know Jesus was lost.
Mhm.
And we say that, but it's all wrong. We were the lost ones.
Yeah.
And I was not looking for God.
No, I
period.
wasn't,
Full
neither.
stop.
No.
No one was religious in my family. My dad was a bank robber,
Not really.
club doorman, bouncer. That's why he had the shotgun, by the way.
My dad was a bank
I
robber.
found out afterwards.
Lovely.
I found out afterwards when they confiscated the gun. My dad clipped me around the ear and said, "I was supposed to do the other jobs now." I said, "What jobs?" And then he told me what he did.
I thought it was a fox hunt. Fox hunt.
Fox
So-
on. As
Yeah.
if.
So I just wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting
No.
like that to break into my life. I wasn't looking for it, but I couldn't deny it was real, and I couldn't deny that God was hounding me.
So when you say call on your life, for that, a lot of people might not know what that kind of. What do you mean?
Well, I don't, at that time I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
I really didn't. I just knew he was real. I knew the encounter was real, and I just knew I had to follow him.
Right.
I
Okay.
knew that's what it was about. It was like God was breaking into my life to saying that, "Hello, I'm real,"
Right.
you know. And it was almost like everything within me, I knew I had to follow that path and discover it. And I've
Right.
been doing that now for 30 odd, nearly 40 years later, 35
Right.
years later, and my whole life's changed.
Mm.
So-
What does it look? What does it look? What has it looked like then? That call, like, and that
I think he
purpose.
stopped
I guess.
selling drugs.
I stopped selling drugs right away.
Started giving them away. That's a really bad
I stopped
habit.
selling drugs right away. I didn't stop taking them.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I didn't
Yeah.
stop taking them for about a month because I was an addict.
Yeah.
I was addicted and I had to take them because my body would have went crazy. And then I had a second encounter where I was in my house one night and I took some stuff with one of my mates and the room just goes really like warm and fiery hot, and I heard an audible voice saying, "Choose this day you're going to serve." Now I know that's in the Bible now. At the time, it didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm arguing with God, saying, "What do you mean I can't just stop? I'm an addict."
Mm.
And I felt God something speaking to me, saying, "Well, I can give you what you're looking for if you want to stop." And I said, "Well, help me." And at that point, the only way to describe it is someone like attaching a hoover to your head and hitting the power button. That's the only way to describe it. I just got everything sucked out of me. And it was like, I just started crying like a baby. And just this love just filled me. And that was my encounter with a conversion experience, really.
Wow.
Two lads in the room with me at the time, they sensed something, said what was that, and I explained to them. And I was expecting them to rip into me.
Mm.
And he said, you're an idiot. I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, God revealed himself to you and shown you all this and you're running from him." And I just cut ties with everyone. And what's really funny is 10 years later, there's a couple of lads come to the door of Bethel, Dave Conley's church that we were part of. And I got this message, there's two really big lads at the door looking for you. And they're calling you Buster, because that was like my street name. And I went, "What?" And I just said to a couple of the lads, "Look, just come to the door with me, just in case anything, it's any trouble." And I said to one of them, "Do you believe in the fivefold ministry?" And I said to the other one, "Do you believe in laying on of hands?" I said, "Because you might need it." And I was being serious because I thought someone had caught up with me because I had enemies. I had people looking for me. And it was these two lads who were in my room at that time. And they said, "We've been looking for you." I said, "What for?" I said, "I'm not in that world no more." He said, we know. But what happened in your dad's house that night affected us, and we've been looking for you ever since. And we want to find this God you found. And both of them ended up becoming Christians.
Wow.
Well,
So just weird. My life's weird, son. You know, not normal. I think when the doctor said, when I was born, the doctor said this one's special. He was right. He was definitely right.
I mean, I just think I'm just flummoxed.
Tom's lost for words.
In a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way. But I just love how
it's weird.
For you, like, God spoke so dramatically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a real clear, like, and for some people it is like that, isn't it? And for other people it's a quieter voice, or it's a
journey.
It's a journey.
You go to rehab, you do detox.
Yeah.
And for some people, God just goes bang.
Yeah.
And hits them. Oh, I think God had to get me in where I was because I wouldn't have went to church. So he knew I was never going to go to church. So he came into what I call my world and reached out to me.
Yeah. And I love it. I love it when that happens. And, you know, you just, for me, my heart just goes, oh, just, you know, especially, you know.
It's easier.
Yeah. In our community, you know, and in our church and, you know, just praying that people would have experiences like yourself, Graham, or in whatever way God needs to reach out to them. And you do glimpse bits and pieces, don't you? And we do, you know, you hear stories. We've heard stories, even, you know, in church recently of people who have, you know, hit bottom or found hope and that. And you just think, just that experience that you've had, which changed, shifted everything.
Yeah.
You think.
What's funny is because me past and me experience, I tend to gravitate to people like that, and they gravitate to us. We, in our church, it's grown really well since we started it. But about 25, 30 people in our church are ex-addicts, some of them from the underworld in Liverpool. And I don't know whether he's still online, the Tattooed Saint. You want to get him in sometime.
Oh, really?
And listen to it. It's called the Tattooed Saint because he's written a book called The Tattooed Saint.
Okay,
right.
Yeah.
And he was part of the criminal underworld, running drugs for some of the biggest firms in Liverpool. He ended up getting nicked, going inside and having a similar encounter like I did. But now he's doing really well. He's got his, you know, big businessman, chartered surveyor, he's worked for some of the biggest companies in Britain.
Wow.
He even sold Sheepside. You won't know what Sheepside is. I don't know what Sheepside is. He spent most of his life banged up in Sheepside. And then the police phoned him up one day. It's in the book, like saying, "Oh, you're trying to say, will you sell this building?" He thought it was a wind up. He thought his mates were winding him up. He's actually selling the prison cells that he spent most of his life in.
Wow.
So it's all in the book. Get him in sometime, honestly.
We'll get him down. We'll get him down.
Amazing story.
Your Georgie says it's
guy.
Definitely a crazy life, but a blessed one.
Yeah.
And so tell us about that then. Tell us about that then, Graham, because I'm really interested because what we, you know, as we kind of think about the church in the UK, it really is not aimed at people from the States, from people that, you know, it should be. And it should be, but the data, the statistics are all there. That often those churches that are on estates or they're the ones that are closing down. There's the one where people are retreating, and people who have backgrounds of addiction or have you know, grown up in a working class community or whatever it may be. Those people feel like the church has got nothing to say to them. But you're experiencing something of. Like that seems to be the people that are attracted to your church. So tell us a little bit about that. And
well, I think there's two people that were instrumental in helping me see things differently. One of them was Dave Cave. He modelled different style of church to me. Him and Tina, his wife, and the other fellow was Dave Conley and Julie. They were instrumental, and they showed us a different style of church. So I grew up seeing that style of church. Coming from Dodge, you're not religious, you know. So my part of my frustration coming into the church was it was too formal, it was too stuffy, it was too religious, it wasn't changing with the times. So for me, it was a quest of how can we make church relevant. So the first church I was involved in was like that. So that modeled it for me. It's making it. That's why churches aren't growing today, Tom, because they're operating on principles from 50, 60, 100 years ago. Some churches will still have like dead old hymn books and organs, and that's not relatable to people of today. So you've got to adapt and change with the times. I always say to people, you never change the message. Never change the message. You just change the method, how you bring it. If you can bring church in up-to-date language, that's where you're going to win people. Is it something of your story? Like, you're saying that obviously you experienced addiction in your life, and then there's other people who are like almost drawn to your church, particularly. Do you think it's something? What are you chuckling about?
I'm just thinking. Someone said this. If you can tell the type of minister in the church by the people who attend it. Yeah. And I'm just thinking our church through at this moment in time.
Well, to be honest, we've got a good balance, but we've got lots of ex-addicts, but we've got social workers in there. Yeah. We've got a really good. We've got, they probably out the addicts. No, we've got a good balance. Yeah. But I think for me, it's I'm not academic. I've never been to Bible college. I think I'd probably struggle in Bible college, but Dave Kay was a Hebrew scholar, so he trained me in the Bible from a grassroots level. So a lot of the style in which we teach and preach, like we do a lot of stuff. Well, I do all my stuff on PowerPoint. It's all images with a message built around the images. And if you think about it, that's what Jesus did. Jesus always talked about pictures. He always said the farmer went out to sow a field, the seed, and so he'd always give pictures. So we teach from that level. And a lot of the stuff I looked at to help people was too academic. So I started writing my own stuff. Or not writing, but building PowerPoints. I just build PowerPoints. I've got hundreds of different PowerPoint talks. I use that for training. Like we do one for 12 weeks called boot camp.
Go on, tell us a bit about that. What's that?
Well, that's a foundation course talking about the basics of how do you grow as a Christian, what it means to become a Christian, what is the Christian message, and we just look at that. Great, I love it. So. And that's gone down well. I mean,
someone in our church was asking me this week about that course.
Yeah,
I think you've invited them on it or something. Yeah,
anyone can do it.
Yeah.
And I love that it's sometimes the stuff that we package.
Yeah,
I think when you strip it back to the message of the gospel, of Jesus, it's good news, isn't it? It is genuinely good news. Sometimes we package it up in a way that's not.
Yeah,
but for you in your life, it's been good news, and I love the energy you're putting into now, kind of thinking, well, what have we attached to this that is not the not showing Jesus in the right light, which not showing faith in the right way. And I think often when you strip it back or present it in a way that people can connect with or understand, they respond. Because there's something about the gospel which is like irresistible. It's attractive, isn't it, when we can present it in a good way.
One woman who was on this course, she wasn't even from our church. She travelled over from over the water for it. And it was really interesting. She broke down halfway through it crying, and I thought she might be having an episode or something. But she wasn't somebody crying for. She said, I've waited for all my life for teaching like this. I've never had this. So it is relatable. It's people are getting it. It's so simple, but there's a deepness to it. But it's helping you to understand what that good news really is and what the message is, and breaking it down in such a. We spend about 8 weeks just talking about the message. What was the message that Jesus brought, and explaining what that actually means. And we get it all wrong. We get this one all wrong, because what happens is we introduce people to church, and Jesus said introduce people to the kingdom. So I spend most of my teaching about what is the kingdom. That was his number one subject. He talked about that more than any other 123 times in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Only mentioned the word church 3 times, twice in one verse. But we always talk about church. where Jesus talked about the kingdom. So I spend a lot of my time talking about the kingdom, but unpacking that in a very simple way.
It's good.
It's good to be
good,
simple.
that,
Isn't
isn't
it?
it?
I like being simple.
Yeah. I think sometimes we
get too complicated, don't
we
we?
try and
We
make
try
us-
to be too clever and make ourselves look clever
Yeah.
because we know bigger words and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's nonsense.
Do you know bigger words?
I don't know how to spell them.
Yeah, he's been to Bible college.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go.
I wouldn't have called it a Bible college, to be honest. You're stretching it there.
I'm
It
stretching
was a
it.
theological college.
I
Yeah.
did.
It wasn't a Bible college. Didn't even need the Bible.
I did like your little joke about the Greek with Stavros and Chippy
right.
down the road.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so
it was-
good. Graham, it's really interesting to chat to you, mate. Let's play a game. Play a game. Go on.
We're going for the game.
We're going for a game.
We're going for the game. We're going to
I want
play
to see.
blankety blank, blankety blank, do do do, blankety blank, blankety blank, do do do, blankety blank, blankety
Alright, that's
blank,
enough.
blankety blank, blankety blank.
Have you ever heard of this game before, Jack? No.
Come on, Jack.
They
You must
don't-
have heard of blankety blank,
They
lad.
don't have this in Germany.
Don't have it in
Right,
Germany.
you can take part at home. In fact, we need you at home at this point. So,
Graham, you know blankety blank. You've seen blankety blank on the telly and all that in the
I
past.
have.
It's out again now with Bradley Walsh is doing it now.
Yes.
So
Oh.
we thought we'd.
Bradley Walsh.
That's his name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's no problem.
Well,
Just
what,
say
are you,
yeah.
what are you interjecting
I must
about?
prefer. I'd be honest. I much prefer when Les Dawson's on it. Now he
Yeah, he was the
hilarious.
funniest one.
He was the funniest.
Who are
Yeah.
these people?
I mean, Wogan was like he was some more serious. Les Dawson took the Mickey out of it,
Yeah.
didn't he? He was funny
Tom's
know,
goal.
because he was like,
Les Dawson.
it's basically an awful
Yeah.
show on the telly.
Yeah,
And
I
Les
know. It's an
Dawson,
awful show on this as well.
Les
Yeah.
Dawson literally was like, "This is terrible."
Or a
all
bit
the time.
like Eurovision when what's his name did
It's
it?
worse.
Is it?
Yes, worse.
Go on, it's like, what are we
anyway,
gonna do?
We know
What are we gonna
blankety blank. You know how to play blankety blank.
I do.
At home, if you don't know how to play blankety blank because you're Jack's age and you've never heard of it, we say a statement and there'll be a blank in it, and you have to come up with a word that it could be. And in this case, Graham's gonna wait. We're gonna think of something. Us three, you're playing as well, Jack. Right? Okay. And then Graham says something, and if it matches with what we've said,
Yeah.
you get a point.
Okay.
And last week's guest, we had 3 questions, so possible 9 points.
Yeah.
He got 1.
Right. Okay.
So you've
I've
only got to beat one,
I've got to
and
beat
you're
one.
top of the leaderboard.
Right. Go ahead.
How
then.
exciting's this?
I'm up for this.
We could have played Linky, which is awful, right? Because it's just like the worst game ever. Yeah.
Don't be shy at home. Come on,
Yeah.
help us
Okay,
out here because
okay.
I do this.
Okay. So
Go
are we
on.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Graham.
Right.
My friend has so many fillings. Now he doesn't go to the dentist. He goes to the blank.
All right. So what do I do now?
You have to think of something for the blank.
Okay. And people at home, can they put it in
think
the
of something
chat?
for the blank and they can put it
So
in the
read it
chat.
once more.
My friend
Yeah.
has so many fillings. Now he doesn't go to the dentist, Jack. He doesn't go to the dentist. He goes to the blank.
Okay.
Think of a word that'll fit in that sentence, Jack. This is easy. Come on.
Come
on. That's not what we're looking for, Jack. You've got to help Graham out. He's got to guess this, and you've got to have the same, and he gets a point. Okay?
All right.
Are we ready? Shall I read it again? One more time. My friend
don't think
has
it's
so
gonna
many
help.
fillings.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't go to the dentist. He goes to the blank.
Okay.
Graham.
You want Graham to give an answer now?
Yeah, I want Graham to give an answer.
Okay.
now.
Go on.
Go on.
Graham.
Cement firm.
Cement firm.
I was thinking construction site.
Oh, that's close.
That's close.
Cement
What
firm.
were you thinking?
Yeah, filling cement.
Funeral directors.
Funeral directors. Who am I playing with here? I was thinking.
Yeah.
Scrapyard.
For
I did think
fillings.
that, but I thought,
Fillings are metal, aren't they?
yeah, close.
I thought like filling holes, like the great funeral
Yeah,
directors.
He's
filling
got
holes.
so many fillings.
Cement
He doesn't go to the
Georgie
dentist.
said builders,
Doesn't go to the dentist.
jewelers, welders.
He goes to
Yeah.
That wasn't
scrapyard.
clear. That was not clear. That one is the next one better.
Well, you didn't
Graham,
get
you
any
can see
points
why I
there,
didn't get a
Graham.
point there.
All right.
You didn't get any.
I got close
There
there.
isn't any. Jack, there's no
He
answer.
said builder's yard. He said builder's yard, so I was close.
It was close, but no cigar.
Georgie at home
Go
said builders as well.
Okay,
All right.
we've got one. This is about
Go
Tom.
on. Right.
Right,
Okay.
Tom recently
Getting
had to
personal.
buy a new car,
Mm-hmm.
but after seeing how expensive they were, he bought a blank instead. You should know this. It's about you.
No, but it's not real.
Shut up.
So what is it supposed to be funny? What's our answer supposed to be?
It just What'll fit in that sentence? What do you think Graham's going to say?
Oh, I'm guessing what Graham's going to
yeah.
say.
Okay.
Oh, if only he'd explained.
What, like 2 weeks ago when I did explain?
Okay, so read it once more.
So, Tom recently had to buy a new car.
Yeah.
But after seeing how expensive they were, he bought a blank instead. So that don't answer yet. We give people time at all. What are people saying?
Well, if we don't want to say,
we can't really
you
say.
haven't thought this through. Linky next week.
Yeah, no, I'm never playing Linky again.
Okay.
Linky's bad.
All right,
Yeah.
I've got an answer.
You've got an answer. Have you got an answer, Jack?
Yeah.
That's it. Hang on. Okay, so I'll read it out first again, and Graham can answer this. Tom, this fella here, recently
Come on, Graham.
had to buy a new car, but after seeing how expensive they were, he bought a blank instead. Graham.
Bicycle.
Bicycle.
Hey!
Got one.
Motorbike.
Motorbike.
Oh, it's close.
That's
like,
close,
but
that.
It's close, but you've got one. Scooter.
Scooter.
I was going to say scooter.
Bike at home. Motorbike. Skoda.
He did buy a
Bicycle.
Skoda.
I did buy a Skoda. Bike.
So you got one.
I think I get half a point for the motorbike as well. It's close.
Doesn't he
Bike,
get 2 points?
wheels.
One for you, one for me. Or you're not
I
playing?
didn't say that. I
Oh,
said
what-
scooter.
Ah.
I didn't say
Why-
bike. I
why
was
didn't
just
you say
sharing with
bike?
you because you've actually got the concept of the game for once. Last week you were just shouting random facts out.
I was thinking about a motorbike, but I'm not sure what a Tom can handle.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not sure
Here
he's
we
old
go.
enough to drive one.
I know, yeah.
Graham, you need to go and get your shotgun to deal with me, mate, because I
Right.
tell you what.
It's okay.
I know your dad. I know your dad was
Where's
a
our
bi-
bouncers?
I know your dad was a biker, like Tom. But...
Last one.
Very good.
So
Last-
you're
Thank
joint,
goodness.
you're
Last
joint
one.
leader.
Right, come on. I need
Right.
one more.
Listen to this.
What? Listen to
Sorry.
this.
Emma said, did Tom write it down? How do we know he got the same answer as Graham? My own wife thinks I'm cheating.
Well, she knows you best, doesn't she? Hey, it says a lot, that, to be honest.
What's it? Oh, Ray put. Okay. What? I think Ray's watching.
What?
His
Last
internet's
week's?
dead slow.
He's watching last
So
week.
he's put- What did
Yeah.
he put? He put Lucky Scooter,
Lucky scooter.
and then he clarified with it Lecky.
Oh,
Lecky.
yeah.
Do you know what Lecky is? We've been a southerner.
I do just about.
So,
Okay.
last one, Graham.
Thank
You need
goodness.
one more point to go
Come
top
on.
of our
Help
leaderboard.
Help us out
Come
at
on.
home. Come on.
Help us out. This is
Help me
John
out.
Travolta,
Oh,
right?
who's
Has been
he?
asked to consider a remake of his 1977
Oh, here we go.
classic film, Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
Right? He turned it down, saying he was too old for blank anymore.
Okay. Saturday Night Fever.
So, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So, John Travolta, are you listening, Jack? Doesn't matter who he is. Right? Doesn't matter. That's not part. Doesn't matter. Listen to the question. Think of a logical answer that Graham's going to say. Okay? John Travolta has been asked if he'd consider doing a remake of his 1977 classic film, Saturday Night Fever. He turned it down, saying he's too old for blank
We'll come
anymore.
into you in a second, Jackson.
Yeah, for blank anymore. So,
Right, Graham.
Graham.
Wait, how many
Okay.
points has he got?
He's got one up to now. He needs
Just
another
the
one
one.
to go top of the
He
league.
needs
Think
one more
about
to
this.
go.
Got it
Come
with
on.
you.
Think about this.
Yeah.
What was Saturday Night Fever all about?
Yeah, come
I
on.
don't know. What,
I
year-
would-
19,
I would
what year
say
was it?
He's too old for DISCO. Oh. Come on.
I like that. I like the answer. It wasn't what I was thinking, but I like the answer.
He's too old for disco.
Yeah.
Disco dancing?
That's what it was about.
Well,
That's what it was about.
yeah. No, I get it.
So, come on, Jack. What did you say?
I was going to say TV.
He's too old for TV,
TV.
anymore.
Yeah.
As in
I
to
would
go
like
on
it
it.
live on TV, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's not right.
I'm not sure it's good.
What was you saying?
Dancing.
Yes, come
Dancing.
on.
No,
Dancing.
Graham, you can't just say
Yeah.
yes.
Dancing.
it.
I was
Dancing.
dancing.
That's what
But
I
does he
said,
get it-
disco dancing.
You said disco.
You just
disco
said disco.
dancing? No, but I said disco dancing.
Did you?
Yeah, only when you clarified it afterwards, because you went DISCO, gave
Yeah,
all that.
disco dancing.
And then
Are we good a minute?
VAR.
VAR.
VAR. Draw the
Hang
line.
on, just going to have a look.
Is it onside?
2 points for Graham!
Yay!
Game's on to me.
Graham's
We'll
on
give him that.
3.
Disco
We'll give him
dancing. We'll
that.
give him that.
Disco
We'll give him
dancing.
that one. We'll
People
give
have
him
said
that one.
dancing at home.
Dancing. It was
There you
obviously
go.
dancing, wasn't it?
Dancing.
It
I mean,
was.
see.
Jiving.
It was
Barbara said.
Well done, Barbara.
Waist-high trousers. That's what Ray said. That's a good answer, actually. You redeemed yourself, Ray, with that one.
That is a good answer, that one.
It's a shame George has gone with to change the light bulb.
Oh, that's funny.
Why?
Because we've got this lovely family in our church who are from Pakistan.
Okay.
And we've had this new group of people coming to our house for the last 6-7 weeks, including your dad, every week. Get to know them. And we had the last meeting last night, and everyone brought a bit of a meal. So they brought a gorgeous curry because they're Indian. Of course, they're going to bring a curry. He done this little Indian dance, Pakistan dance, but he explained it as in change the light bulb and pat the dog. And he had us all doing it. It was hilarious. Just remember that one. Change the light bulb and pat the dog to a bit of Punjabi music. You've got to go for it. That's exactly it. Change the light bulb and pat the dog.
I'm not doing that.
That is Saturday Night Fever.
You'll remember that. In about a week's time, you're going to go. "Change the
Next
light
time
bulb
he's
and pat
out
the dog."
dancing, he'll be like
That's
that.
it. Yeah. That might be an
With the
improvement on
Paralympic
that
team.
might be an improvement on your dance routine.
My moves are-
Honestly, you want to see his dance routine. He looks ill.
my moves are a little bit more sophisticated than that.
I've seen your moves. I've seen your moves. I wouldn't do them if I was you. Honestly, you're gonna get hit with shockers or something. People that miss it.
Graham, it's come to that point in the evening, mate.
Yeah.
What we're
Didn't even
gonna
ask him
do?
about Bethel or anything.
That's
did we?
Oh.
yeah.
I mean, in Bethel, we've got to point out though, haven't we? Bethel
Oh,
House
yes.
of God, where he's
Yeah, yeah,
minister of, which
That's
used
the
to be
church.
Bethel Baptist Church. It's Bethel House of God Baptist Church now.
Yeah.
Which is probably a kind of big story in its own self, how you ended up getting that.
That's a crazy story.
They literally gave us money towards our groceries, didn't they?
They did.
They gave us a
They gave
gift
us-
towards our groceries. So big thank you to
Thank you
yous
to
and
Graham
Bethel,
and to everyone.
Bethel Baptist.
Much appreciated.
Yes.
Much appreciated.
It was, and because I mean that was why we started this, wasn't it, to try and make some money for our grocery? But it's just lost money.
So if you don't know, at our church we've got a community grocery where people can get food.
Yeah.
They get
It's fab.
it's fantastic. They get loads more food than what they've paid for, and it's all fresh stuff and all that. And it costs lots of money to run the Message Trust, cover the bills on
Message
most of
Trust,
that.
Big up,
But
Message
Graham's
Trust.
church threw in a whole pile of money as well. So thank you, Graham,
Yeah.
for that, mate. Much appreciated. And you think that would make you easily a
On the
member
wall.
of the bar, but we can't.
He probably doesn't even know what this bit is.
Well, what we do, Graham, is you're going to tell a story in a minute.
A story.
he
story.
can't either.
We've already had
Did shotgun to school.
shotgun to school.
Dad was a bank robber.
We've already had
I was in K.
spitting on your uncle.
Spitting on your uncle. Yeah.
I've got to come to better than that. Right?
You've already
Okay.
shown us your
JC
best
in the
darts
taxi and
moves.
all that, yeah.
JC,
Yeah.
So if you get a good one, if you tell us a good story, then what happens is
Get him on the wall, lad.
you go on the wall.
We get you on the wall
So your
Go on the
name
wall.
goes up on the wall.
with all these prestigious members of Finnegan's
There's all
Bar.
sorts up here.
Yeah.
We've got MPs on there and everything.
Yeah.
You know, councillors.
Military police.
We've got Tom on there. You know,
All sorts.
yeah. All
But
sorts,
if
all
if
sorts.
your story's not good, then
Okay.
you get barred.
You're bad,
You
All
get
right.
barred,
You get
lads.
barred, and that's that.
All
and then
right.
we can't talk to you ever again.
Okay.
We could still take your money,
Yeah.
Okay.
the shop will still talk to you.
but we
no,
can't.
no problem. But
we
me and
couldn't
Tom,
talk to you.
we have to walk past you on the other
Yeah.
side of the road.
All right. I've got a
Full
story.
on.
Go on.
I've got a
Have
story.
you got
Doesn't
one
matter.
you think will do it? And
I've
basically,
got-
we want people at home to vote. They're going to vote. They're going to let us know
Yeah.
if you're going to be on the wall
Mm.
or barred. So they're just going to throw in the comments, wall or barred.
All
Yeah.
right.
We're going to hand over to you, Graham.
Okay. So I got arrested once for preaching the gospel.
Only once.
Yeah. For preaching
Oh,
the
for
gospel.
preaching the gospel
This
once.
is for preaching the gospel, right?
Okay.
Preaching about Jesus. So what happened was,
I love that. It's just the police on your record sheet. When you come in, we've got him for possession of a shotgun in a school.
Yeah.
We've got him
Yeah.
for spitting on his uncle. Now preaching the gospel.
Killing a taxi driver.
well, it didn't quite happen like
We've
that.
got
It didn't quite
we've
happen
got
like
to hear
that.
this one, Graham.
So, as you can imagine, the police didn't really like me because they knew me. They knew me family. So we had this love-hate relationship. I've actually got on my DBS, because you got to have DBSs now, haven't you?
Yeah, especially as a minister, yeah.
So on my DBS, it's got causing an affray,
Oh,
which was, I'll explain that. It's called starting riots.
wow.
So I got arrested for starting the riots in Liverpool. Like, Alan will remember that back in the day.
I do remember it, yeah.
Well, I was instrumental in starting them off.
Okay.
So I was kind of a bit of a crazy lad, and I had this mad idea of going to the top of the flats and dropping a fridge through a police van roof. Could be baited the police to park underneath.
How's dropping a fridge off the roof preaching the gospel?
He's getting there. He's getting there. This is
was kind of,
stuff.
I got arrested for that.
I got
And
arrested for
the
this.
police kind
Rightly so, can I just say?
the fridge wasn't working.
It wasn't, was it, in the
Fair
ground?
play, like.
It was a scrap one. And the police didn't like me. So after becoming a Christian, they kind of were watching me for quite a while. And I went to see this guy one night called, I can't give his full name live. But anyway, I went to see this guy called, let's call him Ian, right? And I got over to his house and he wasn't in. But you know when you get an idea in your head and you think, I've got to go and see someone.
Yeah.
And you just know you've got to go and see them. And I went all the way over there and he wasn't in. So I'm sitting on the step thinking, well, I'm sure I've got to be here. I'm sure I've got to be here. Knocking on the door, no answer for about half an hour. Then a load of lads, scallies, come around the corner, start knocking. And I said, he's not in. He said, how do you know? I said, I've been knocking for half an hour. Oh, right. So where is he? He said, I don't know. So I said, well, how do you know? He said, oh, he's a youth leader. Oh, right. Okay. So he said to me, well, how do you know him? I said, oh, he's a mate of mine. He said, what have you come to see him for? I said, I don't know. And these lads just looked at me like to say, are you all right, fella? You're having a breakdown or something? I said, no, I'm sound. He said, well, what have you come to see him for? I said, I don't know. And they're like, they can't get their head around this. So eventually I said, oh, I've come to see him because I felt this inkling inside to come and see him. I said, but I don't know what I've got to see him for. But anyway, at that point, the police go past in the van and see me with 12 lads around me. So they shouted out the van, what are you doing, Buster? I said, nothing. I'm just talking to these lads. What are you selling? I said, I'm not selling anything. I'm giving it away. Well, at that point, he jumped out the van, threw me in the back, thinking I had drugs on me, took me off to Truebrook police station, searched me, and they're all like, he's got nothing on him. He hasn't got any drugs. I said, of course I don't have any drugs. I was telling them about God. Don't be stupid. And the arrested me and charged me because they had nothing better to do. And the charge was causing a destruction on a public highway. So they kept me in overnight.
An obstruction on a public highway.
Yeah, because I had 12 lads around me on a path. Right, they had nothing better to do. Right, so they let me out in the morning. I went to Dave Cave's house and said,
He must be sick of you by now. At least you waited till the morning.
I know, but they wouldn't let me out. They kept me in all night, Alan. So they said to me, so basically Dave said, I said, I've been arrested. He said, what have you done now? I said, no, I was just like talking to some lads about God, and the police arrested me on some trumped up mad charge of causing obstruction. He said, oh, here's a solicitor, go and see him on County Road. So I went to see this solicitor, and I'm sitting there waiting to see this guy because he's in with someone else, but the secretary's asking for all my details. So I'll give her all the info. And then she said, oh, what are you being charged with? I said, causing obstruction. Well, why are they charging him with that? I said, I've no idea. So she said, well, give me the story. I've got to write it down. I said, you want the big story or the little story? She said, well, just tell me as it happened. So I'm sharing all this with her.
Yeah.
And starts sharing me testimony. And she starts crying. I'm going, well, what are you crying for? She said, I'm on drugs. I said, really? She said, yeah. She said, I can't believe that God's changed your life. And like, you know, your story, can he change mine? And I said, look, if you want to know more, this isn't the time or the place. I'll meet you at this church on Sunday. And she turned up. Which told me she was hungry for a bit more. And she come with a mate. So I shared a bit about Jesus with them afterwards and led both of them to the Lord. And I thought, fantastic. But then I get this letter through the door saying, you've now got to appear before Liverpool Magistrates Court on such and such a date. So this is actually happening. I'm being charged properly, like with this case. So I turn up at court And the judge said to me, "Can you just tell me what happened, Mr. Jones?" So I started going a little bit about my past. I said, "Look, Judge, I'm being honest with you. I used to be a bad lad. I was involved in the riots and all that." I said, "I was really naughty, was into drugs and all that kind of stuff. I'm a changed man." I said, "And the police really don't like me." I said, "I can understand because I've done naughty things to them, like dropping things through the van roof and all that."
Fridge.
I said, but I'm changed. And I said, and I was talking to these lads about my changed life. And then they arrested me for causing obstruction. Well, the judge wasn't too happy. This is absolutely true. So the judge absolutely ripped into these two police officers and said, "Don't you ever waste my time with a case like this again."
Nice.
Right? You should be patting this lad on the back and encouraging him to share his story with other people, not arresting them.
Wow.
And he absolutely told the police off, dropped the charges,
Yeah.
right? And said, "Go out, lad, and share your story with whoever you need to. You'll never get trouble off the police again." And I never did.
Well,
And that's an absolutely true story.
Wow. Very good.
Wow.
Very
Also
good.
documented in Dave Cave's book.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the book called? I forget.
Two, one's
Some
called Jesus is
Me
Your Best Mate.
Yeah, that's
That one.
right, yeah.
Dead
Yeah.
posh, like that's a like theological.
Your
Jesus is Your Best Mate.
Yeah.
And the other one was called 10 New Churches.
Okay. I remember Jesus.
I'm
is
in
my
both
best
of
mate.
them.
Yeah.
So that's a
Essay,
two.
who's that?
Like I
Mike-
said, my
Mike-
life's not normal.
People have enjoyed it tonight, though,
Yeah.
Graham. We've got, here we go.
What's going on?
I don't know. Your wife wants you on the wall, which I think is a good thing. That's a good sign, Graham.
Yeah, she wants to throw things at me on there.
Yeah.
Can I just say I love my wife? She's fantastic.
Oh,
She's stuck with me through thick and thin and been a major support of my life for the last 37 years we've been married.
Fabulous.
Yes,
And what I
Georgie.
haven't mentioned,
Well done.
we also foster kids.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And we've fostered 64 foster
64,
kids.
you said before.
60.
Yeah.
64 foster kids. And it was all their fault.
It was-
It was all their fault.
It's your fault, Georgie.
That's another story.
Well
That's
done,
your fault,
Georgie.
Georgie.
Well done, Georgie. Well, she wants
Hats
you on
off
the
to you
wall,
anyway.
as does Patrice, as does my dad, as does Ray. Says get him on the wall, or he might bring the shotgun to Finnegan's.
I'm going to get him on the door, not on the wall.
On the wall.
He's on the door.
On the wall. Very good. Mike Creed says on the wall.
Who's wrote
There's
Vanessa?
Mike Creed. Graham
Who's that?
came from Dodge. He's written a song here.
Oh, he's
Mike
right.
Creed. Graham came from Dodge City riding high on a horse as a cowboy.
Then ended up getting arrested for preaching the gospel. We have been shot down in the spirit tonight.
Oh, sorry.
You took it off. I can't see it.
Sorry, I've
There's amazing testimony from the beginning to the end of this whole podcast.
Yes, well done, Mike.
Thanks, Mikey.
Thank you, Mike, and well done, Graham, on the
Yeah.
wife. And you
On the wife. What's going on with
I'm
you?
trying to
Aye,
multitask.
Tom,
I'm
come on.
trying to multitask.
What's
Keep it
going
clean.
on, Tom?
My dad said his wife's an amazing, long-suffering woman.
I'll put the full link of me testimony on your page.
Do it,
I'll
do
do
it.
it,
And
do
it's
it,
on the
do it,
wall
do
from
it, do
Vicky
it.
as well. So we'll throw you on the wall, Graham.
Yeah.
Where are we
There
going
you
to put you? Right in there.
Buster.
Pens, bro.
No, don't put Buster. I'm
Buster.
kidding.
He's got a bigger wall.
You need to get a better pen.
Put Graham.
We'll have to go with it. There's the pen there. Look, there's the proper pen there. What are you using that one for? That's
He's
Dud.
having a man. Graham's on the wall. Yes, Graham. You're up.
Very good. Very good.
Mate, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
What do we get for winning the competition?
We'll give you.
You haven't won yet. You're only in the lead.
Oh, right, okay.
Ah.
Go ahead then.
You'd win some church merch, which is the teddy bear behind you. Do you
The
want to
teddy
take that
bear.
with you?
I'm thinking about the
I
ring.
can't get rid of it.
I've got a bigger one. I'll tell you what, if you want to take it, I'll give it to one of the foster kids. I love that.
Please take it.
All right.
All right, very good. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for listening. Like we said, you can catch all our previous episodes of Finnegan's. We've had loads of guests, loads of great guests coming along telling their
Who's our
stories.
nuggets of the week?
I'm going with Shotgun Ray.
Shotgun Ray?
No, actually, no, Mike.
What about Mike for putting a bit of effort
Yeah,
in?
go on, Mike. Yeah,
Mike.
let's go with Mike.
We go for Mike, I think.
Mike, we're
'Cause
gonna.
I vote Georgie.
That's an essay.
Georgie.
You're getting some. You're getting some
I vote
anyway.
my wife.
You're
Yeah.
getting some anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Right, okay.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
Mike,
yeah.
we'll send you some beer mats. Do we
Yeah.
have to post them, or where does he live?
Nah, he lives in here, Tom.
Ah,
I don't know
Thornton.
where he lives, though.
they're at the church if you want them, Mike.
Dead posh.
Is it? Oh, very good. All right, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Check out
Yeah.
our previous episodes of Finnegan's.
Give us
and
a like, subscribe, whatever else happens on them type of things.
Very
I've got
good.
no idea.
And we'll see you again soon.
Good night and God bless.